Hey Cinephiles, DeadMedia here. First thing I want to do today is apologize. Last time I revealed the movie from the preceding round of Name That Frame, but I forgot to give a shout out to the winner of the round. Solemn had actually given the correct answer and I missed his shout out. Sorry, man.
Ай, блядь! Ай, блядь!
Secondly, let's address the déjà vu in the room.
Here we go.
Deja vu, I just been in this place before. Higher on the street, and I know it's my time to go.
Yes, the thumbnail for this is Frozen. Yes, I already reviewed Frozen, but that was the 2010 horror movie. This time, I'm actually going to do the Disney one. So, if you're upset with me over the joke from that April Fool's video, I ask that you let it go. One more thing before we get totally started here. This is my 20th review video. As such, I feel this is a good time to introduce something new.
Why be you when you can be new?
What we'll be doing from here out is just an extension of something we've always done. You know at the end when I tell you how I feel about a movie, just after I tell you the score? Well, I'm going to award an enjoyment factor at that point from here out, an additional score out of 5 that just covers how I personally feel about the movie, regardless of any grading criteria. Then I will total the enjoyment factor score with the criteria score and find the average, giving the movie its true score. We're going to average better than a mortgage lender. My math teachers will be so proud. But now let's dig into the movie. A movie loosely based on a Danish fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen. The criteria for this Frozen are plot and writing, voice acting, visuals, dialogue, and soundtrack. So with this one... Oh look! The image reel is for the right movie this time. Sorry. So a young girl has magical ice powers and her family doesn't really worry too much about it because she's not hurting anyone and they're royals. Who's gonna say something against her?
Don't you know who I am?
One night, the young girl and her little sister are playing in what must be a ballroom or something based on how big and empty it is, and the young girl accidentally hurts her little sister with her powers. Their parents take them and hurry to the trolls that live in the woods to heal the little sister. They're able to heal her, but in the process she loses her memory of her sister's magic. And the magical little girl is locked away in a room away from her little sister in a hope that she may be able to learn to control her powers. The year the magical girl turns 18, their parents set out on a voyage in hopes of finding some means of soothing or removing her abilities. But their ship is lost in a large storm. 3 years after that, the magical girl is set to be crowned queen, and it's the first time the castle's been opened, or that the girls have seen each other in about 13 years. Younger sister runs around like a kid on the ultimate sugar high.
What's it like, Bart?
And takes an interest in literally the first new man she sees, a prince, and later on asks for her sister's blessing to marry him, which causes a freak-out from her sister and ends up with the magical girl running away, afraid of the reactions from everyone else. As she flees, however, the magical girl accidentally freezes the entire kingdom, the fjord it's located in, and the surrounding mountains. The younger girl, wanting to fix things with her sister and possibly undo the freeze, chases after her, beginning an adventure where they both might learn something about themselves. The story here is well written, and anything that's unlikely or straight up silly about the plot is pointed out for how silly it is, and I've always appreciated that. Just the awareness. They can have a Kernel here for plot and writing. This one has a bit more of a cast than many, with 5 characters who influence the plot, even if they're mostly just comic relief characters. As the magical girl, Elsa, we have Idina Menzel. As her little sister, Anna, we have Kristen Bell. As the prince Anna falls for, Hans, we have Santino Fontana. As the rough-and-tumble ice fisherman, Kristoff, we have Jonathan Groff. And finally, as the sentient snowman accidentally created by Elsa, Olaf, we have Josh Gad, who is probably not related to Professor Egad. The issue with voice work is that it's harder to critique than full acting because you can't visually tell someone is phoning it in. But based on what we hear here, everyone is putting in great performances, with a special shout out here for a fun side character, the Duke of Wesselton, played by the inimitable Alan Tudyk.
Hell, it's okay. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna win.
All the performances together are worthy of a Kernel, but if I'm honest, I probably would have awarded one just for Tudyk. Visually, I mean, it's a Disney movie. Almost every Disney movie is top-notch visually. I really don't have anything else to say on that one, but they can have a Kernel for visuals. There are a few winning lines in this one. When Anna first meets Hans, she says at one point, "I'm awkward, you're gorgeous." Wait, what? At the coronation ball, the Duke of Wesselton states, "Like a chicken with the face of a monkey, I fly." A meme was made out of a line spoken by a store owner in a store when Anna arrives while chasing Elsa. The store owner says, "Yoo-hoo, big summer blowout." Shortly after Anna and Kristoff meet Olaf, Olaf's head ends up upside down and he asks, "What am I looking at right now? Why are you hanging off the earth like a bat?" When Kristoff is chastising Anna's rash decision to marry Hans, he asks her several questions about Hans, including his foot size, to which Anna replies, "Foot size doesn't matter." An obvious little joke for the adults watching the movie. Olaf walks into an icicle at one point and says, "Oh, look at that, I've been impaled." And finally, late in the movie, Olaf starts a fire in an effort to get Anna warm, and Anna expresses her concerns that Olaf will melt, to which Olaf replies, "Some people are worth melting for." The total here is 7 lines, and that's worth a Kernel. Now for the soundtrack, I want to reiterate, this is a Disney movie. Disney movie soundtracks are always iconic, with several tracks from Disney movies being used in other stuff since. Better songs from this one, though, include "Do You Want to Build a Snowman?", which, as a fun fact I'll point out, got a parody based around Breaking Bad, which had just finished its run a couple of months before this movie released.
Do you wanna build a meth lab? Come on, let's go and cook.
Other good songs from the movie are "For the First Time in Forever", "Love is an Open Door", "Fixer Upper", and of course, "Let It Go", a song so overpromoted that I actually paid extra attention on my rewatch to decide if it was legitimately the best song in the movie, or, like the heavily promoted song of its sequel, it was inferior to another track. I do, however, have to admit that "Let It Go" is the best song in the movie, and with that I must also award the soundtrack here a Kernel. Now let's tip out our bucket and see what we have. We have 5 Kernels. I think this movie is okay, but it isn't nearly worth the cultural and merchandising juggernaut it has become in the years since it released. It isn't something I re-watch much, and for that I'll give it an enjoyment factor of 3. Finding the average, our true score for the movie, is 4. I think that's more suiting than a 5. Now let's move on to Name That Frame. If you look at my screen, we have another still for our movie or TV show. And by way of a hint, I'll tell you that this one is a drama from the last 5 years. Know what it is? Comment below. We'll reveal the answer on the next video, and as always, if you have any other comments, questions, or suggestions, you can leave them down there as well. I try to answer everything. That's it for me though, but we'll see you again soon with another movie. Bye!